So first things first. Look, are they going to move on from Zach Wilson or from Zach Wilson, from Russell Wilson and Justin Fields? Are they going to move on? Is that in the plan? Now, everything that apparently me, you, everybody's talked about that they're going to choose between one of the two. But there are reports out there, solid reports from reputable people that saying no, the Steelers actually they could move on without either one of them. They don't believe that Russell Wilson or Justin Fields is the answer. No need to have a bridge, either one of them be the bridge quarterback, and they could move on. Now, to me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you know that one of them is going to be a bridge quarterback, then you got to bring back one of them, at least in my eyes. And again, Russell Wilson being a bridge quarterback, I don't think he really wants to do that. I think he wants to be the guy, moving forward for the next 3 years, 2 to 3 years anyway. And it started out fine, but as a Steelers organization, do you want to do that? Was it fading down the stretch? We also heard of reports of him and Arthur Smith just butting heads, on what they wanted to do, or better yet, what Arthur Smith wanted to do and Russell Wilson doing something different. Was it the lack of weapons, lack of good offensive line play? Whatever the case may be, it didn't end well. But Russell Wilson wants to be the quarterback. He's not interested in being a bridge quarterback. He's interested in saying, hey, put some weapons around me. We can get this thing done. Justin Fields, on the other hand, is a guy that you would say he wants the same thing. He doesn't want to be a bridge quarterback either. And again, he also wants to have weapons put around him because other than DJ Moore in Chicago, he's really never had anything around him, including an offensive line that you can say, okay, look, we've given you some stuff. What can you do? Heck, even last year, he gets off to the 4-2 start, but he never really cut it loose. And you could tell by his play, he would see things, guys are open, but he never cut it loose. So Justin Fields is like, look, I'm not interested in being a bridge quarterback. You guys put the handcuffs on me last year. If you just let me loose, I can show you what I can do. I get that aspect of it. The Pittsburgh Steelers might be pushing back, and that's what it sounds like, that they're pushing back on both, saying, hey, look, we get it. You guys don't want to be bridge quarterbacks, but we're also not sure you're the long-term answer. Now, Russell Wilson is definitely not the long-term answer. He's too old for that to be the case. He's not going to be the quarterback for the next decade for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields can be the long-term answer. Do you want to hand over the reins? Do you want to give him a makeshift deal? Nick Farabaugh, who was on the show a few weeks back, he basically, we talked a little bit about this, and the reports now have changed because things change daily when it comes to this. And who knows if Pittsburgh's just pushing this out there for purposes of contract. Hey, we may pass on both of you, so you need to take a little bit less money, whatever the case may be. But I think Steelers have a right to push back. Now, here's the thing. If you push back and then they both say, okay, great, thank you for your time, Pittsburgh, we're moving on, then what do? You look out at the free agent market as far as quarterbacks are concerned. There's not a ton of quality guys that you would just hang your hat on and say, yeah, okay, this makes sense. You could go the older veteran route, like Matthew Stafford. Reports he's very unhappy that the Rams are trying to get rid of Cooper Kupp. You got his wife out there running her mouth about it, that they may be looking around. He's 37. Would you want to make a trade for Matthew Stafford? I'm guessing if you make a trade, you're going to have to give up a lot. And do you want to give up a lot for a 37-year-old that has hinted about retirement? I don't know. Do you want to do the same thing for a Kirk Cousins? Now, the price tag for Cousins is going to be a lot less than what it would be for Matthew Stafford. A lot less. But are you interested in Kirk Cousins? He's a year younger. but that's still a 36-year-old. We just had a 36-year-old and a less mobile 36-year-old. Not that Russell Wilson was, you're not going to confuse him with Lamar Jackson, but he's more mobile than what Kirk Cousins is. So are you wanting to do that? Is that somewhere you would want to go? Then there's the old Aaron Rodgers. I mean, basically was told by the Jets that he's not coming back. The thing with Aaron Rodgers might come with Devontae Adams. It might be a situation where Devontae Adams wants to hitch his wagon to Aaron Rodgers. Now, why he would want to do that, I don't know. Friend or no friend, it didn't work out with the Jets, so why he would want to continue to do that. But you don't know what people's motivations are. Maybe he's like, look, I've made my money. I like playing with him. I'm comfortable. This is what I want to do. Even if he only plays another year. Heck, who knows how long Devontae Adams is even going to play. But Aaron Rodgers is an option. Is it a viable option? I don't know. I don't know if you want to bring that. We talked about that. I don't know you want to bring that into the Steelers locker room because there's drama that comes with Aaron Rodgers. A lot of baggage. And I don't know if you want to open that Pandora's box. I just don't think you would want to. But hey, who knows, man? Who knows? Then there's always there was this talk about Trevor Lawrence. Did the Steelers actually reach out? Did they not? Reports were, yes, it came from a ton of places. Then all of a sudden, it's like, well, the cat gets out of the bag. Well, whoops, nope, we didn't. They didn't really reach out to Jacksonville. And so now you don't know, which is why I say, the rumor mill this time of year, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. So you don't know what the case may be. But this is a 25-year-old quarterback. Problem is, he brings a gigantic contract that a lot of people, myself included, don't think that he's earned. And you got to pay him a lot of money. So, do you want to go that route? And then you look at the free agent market. I mean, you're willing to give Sam Darnold some kind of money like that? I mean, it's Jacoby Brissett's, Drew Locks of the world, Zach Wilson. I mean, it doesn't look great, man. It doesn't look great. Now, there's a name on there that a lot of Steeler fans are going to say, hey, let's bring him back, which is Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph, again, I get the sentiment because he's played decent football when he's given an opportunity. The second time around, he was given an opportunity. I understand, especially in 2023, where he helped us get to the playoffs. He did. Absolutely, he did. But he went to Tennessee. And just think about that for a second. He went there. Now, granted, he was going to be the backup there. He knew he was going to be the backup there. And he got his opportunity, and it was nothing special. So, are you wanting to bring that guy to be the bridge quarterback? I don't know. I wouldn't mind having Rudolph back, but as a backup, we don't need him as the starter. So, where do you go? Do you draft the guy? You look at the quarterbacks where the Steelers are drafting, there's not going to be any first round guys. And I know people are saying, hey, in the third round, it's been third or fourth round. Take a Will Howard or a Jackson Dart in the third or fourth round. My thoughts are this. Go back to when Mason Rudolph was drafted in the third round. We had a quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, and we basically wasted a third round pick on somebody that wasn't going to help us. And that came to be true. He didn't. It wasn't a defensive player that could come in and play right away. Offensive player, it was a guy that he helped us years down the road to make some playoff games when other quarterbacks got hurt and were ineffective. But that's not what you want your third round pick to be. So you want to do the same thing now. It's not, again, the Steelers aren't a quarterback away. So you want to invest a third or a fourth round pick on guys that are projected to just be backups in the league. And granted, anything can happen. Guys can develop later, better, depending on where they are. If it was an exact science, everybody would do it. So it's not easy. But you want to invest a third or fourth round pick on that versus somebody that could come and help you play and plug in some of the holes that the Steelers have. Because, again, I mentioned it. We're not just a quarterback away. There are several positions that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to upgrade. Quarterback clearly is one, but I'm not sure you waste a third or a fourth round pick on guys like that. That's just my feeling. At some point, we got to have a quarterback for the future. I get it. I totally understand it. But third or fourth rounder, when you have so many holes that you could actually fill some of those holes, I think you got to move on from there and think something differently. I really, really do. So let's go to the poll question, man. It's interesting stuff, this quarterback thing, and it's troubling because the Steelers just they don't have a quarterback, and it's hard to do anything else until you know what your quarterback is going to be. It can put your franchise in a chokehold per se. So poll question number 1, who would you rather have as a starting quarterback for the Steelers in 2025? Is it A, Wilson, B, Fields, C, a veteran free agent, or D, a quarterback via a trade? So you got your choices there. Wilson, Fields, a veteran free agent, or QB via trade. And obviously it's going to be one of those four. But like I mentioned, it's so frustrating because, like, how do you get other free agents? Like, we need wide receivers. How do you get free agent wide receivers when you don't know who the quarterback is going to be? That makes it tough, man. It makes it tough. So, but we'll see. We'll trudge through and we'll try to get through it. We will try to get through it. Moving on.